There's a little kid. Hey. Good morning, folks. Welcome to Thompson's Farmstead Adventure. Nice day outside, you know. We have no sign of any rain coming until probably, I think it's next Tuesday or something like that. But no, we're going to be pretty good. The temperatures are going to be about the lowest, say about 40 in the mornings, you know, at night. And between 65 and 70, possibly 55 and 70. A couple of days it's going to fluctuate. But still, it's nice. Nice enough to put on a jacket, nice and cool. And just feels good. So much better than that hot, sticky humidity that we had all summer long. So anyways, today's Monday. As always, we do all the chicken stuff. Matthew's over there already, getting ready to take care of all the chicken waters. I'm gonna do all the chicken feed. We didn't get to do our hearth or start the hearth on Friday. We had, you know, just trying to get a lot of stuff cleaned up still. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take and put about 1 inch of concrete, inch and a half. That's a 2.5 inch form, height-wise, 42 by 46, something like that. And I'm going to go approximately 1 inch, put my rebar in the centers, in the center, you know, do my cross stitching, and then I'm going to have, of course, a border. And then I'm going to look, and I think I have a few cans of the foam in a can. And what I'd like to do is almost make this like a lightweight air conditioning pad. They make lightweight pads this way, but they use more of a fiberglass type of concrete with a bunch of foam in it. And the reason is, I'm looking at how much this is going to take. That thing's going to be like, you know, 300 pounds by the time I get done, because these are 50 and 60 pound bags, and I can easily, well, you got 250 pounds just in one stack right there. You know, you got 50, 200, I mean, you got 100, 200, 250 right there. And it'll probably take maybe 8 bags if I went completely solid. So I believe by giving it a 1 inch thickness, just like the block is, that's 1 inch thick right here. Give it the 1 inch thickness on the cap, on the top part, because the black part is the actual top. And then foam where I want it to go, and just keep it away from the edge of the form about, I'd say about 4 inches. And see where it expands to, and then cut it the way I need to, and maybe leave a little rise above the form of the foam, so that way when I flip it over, it'll compress. And then once it dries, I would like to put like a glue on some felt or something. Even it could even be a towel, I don't care. I just want something on the bottom of the concrete, so when I stick it on the floor and I want to slide it around a little bit or move it, it's not going to scratch that flooring in there. Since I'm not putting down 1 by 1 pavers, you know, we can do it nice and gentle. This guy here is going to be a little bulky, so we'll see how that turns out. We will get at least the 1 inch done today and start on the rebar. I'm building also a drying rack system, probably about the same height as these guys here. Probably looks similar like these shelves. But I'll have a 4th shelf in there, and it'll be on wheels, but I'll have the 1/4 inch metal on it that we have, you know, the wire, the welded wire. That we can just put all her gourds and stuff on there, with loofah gourds. Put all those on there. We can wheel them in and out, you know, or keep them out overnight if it's not going to freeze. That's the only problem that we have to worry about, is everything freezing. So we're going to knock that out today. A lot of stuff I'm trying to cram in one day. We'll see how much we get done. Well, now we're starting on this part here. Got our first pour going. I want to keep it kind of wet because I want to be able to tap it up against the wood framing, so I try to get most of the bubbles out. And that's Matthew over here, mixing it all up by hand, a little at a time. All I need for 1 bag already. Alrighty, well, I got that drying now. Got the epoxy drying out there. I've gotten all the bubbles I can get out. I'm getting 32 of these here cut at 22 inches. That way I'll have like a half inch over, so the edge of my wire mesh, which is in the truck, but let me show, I have more here. So this type right there, a 1/4 inch welded. That way the outside edge will be mostly right in the center, I mean close to the center. All right, well, we've been some busy little bees here. Matthew's been cutting and getting everything ready for the drying rack. It won't take long for us to knock it together. The sides are already cut. I went ahead and knocked out a couple more things of firewood using all twisted up nasty wood, you know, be out in the weather anyways. And I had one rod that I didn't get set in the concrete very well, so I went ahead and pulled it out, mixed up some of my Cementol. This is that stuff that gets up to 9,000 PSI. Anyways, so that's what we got going on. We're gonna go ahead and I just made a couple of wood racks. I'm gonna get those out there real quick, get them attached, kind of like at an angle surrounding the front end of my trailer. And we'll attach them to each other with a couple of screws or whatever. And that'll be ready for loading up wood in them in the next, well, sometime this week. But we're gonna get back to getting this put together. I gotta go down to the supply store either before they close, which I'm not sure if they close at 5 or 4:30. I have to check real quick. I gotta get some quarter inch by 3/4 inch crown staples for my nail gun, my rigid one. And we'll get the 1/4 inch mesh on there. See what happens. Moving along though. Okay, well, we're back at it. I went out and I bought 4 cans of foam. We're gonna foam this thing up and see what we can do. Hopefully 4 cans will do. I had to go out and buy more of those 1/4 inch crown staples so we can put that 1/4 inch welded mesh on. We're gonna go ahead and get that completed today and wheel it over to the garage and take my wife's loofah gourds, I guess that's what they're called, and get them put on there so they can dry out better. The cold weather right now is kind of keeping them from, you know, it's keeping them in the stage that they're in, because it's like putting them in a refrigerator. You know, the ones that were out there when it was 80 degrees and stuff and wind's blowing, they dried up pretty good just hanging on the vine. So now it's going to take a little longer to get them dried out. It is what it is, right? We go with the flow, but at least we'll finally have a drying rack for the garlic and onions and and anything else that we need to dry on the rack. And it would be portable too, because I have these little wheels I'm going to stick on it that I've saved from other projects over the years. So anyways, I'm going to get on that and we'll see how it turns out. Alrighty, well, what we're using here is this stuff called Great Stuff, and we'll see how great it is. I'll just buy 4 more, but I'll probably get 2 out of here, and then whatever I got to do to fill in. I want it to be at least a couple inches above my forms after it dries. That way I can take a handsaw, you know, and trim it back down to about a 1/2 inch above the form. So that way when I let it sit down, it'll press itself down. I mean, I'll check it out. I might have to tap it down a little bit too with a mallet. I have rubber and wooden mallets. You know, we'll test it out. But like I said before, on the concreted area, I'll probably chop up a shirt or, you know, a rag or towel or something, because I want to spray glue that onto the concrete, so when I flip this over and slide it around on my new floor, it doesn't scratch it. Trying to keep it as a buffer. We'll see how it turns out. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead now. Matthew's got everything set up outside here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull all the outside frames off of these shelves. I have the expanded metal, where'd it go? Over here, that we're going to install. And we'll get that going right now. So, all right, well, this is what we're running today. I'm doing a 1/4 inch crown with 3/4 inch leg, basically 3/4 inches long. Let me show you how I'm doing it with my rigid. I'm not sure if any other crown staple will do it, but see, I'll go in an angle like this. I take off the rubber tip. The rubber tip is right there. I've already burned through another one. I put it like this and hit it at the corner, and this will get all 4 of those. When I'm doing the outside, it'll get 3 of them. So, and I try to keep my gun at about, what does that say? Pretty close to 60 pounds, right there. That way you don't blow through them. Alrighty, well, so far we got 3 done. Oops, I'll put that one over the other way. Just realized. We're able to get 3 shells out of the 25 foot, so we got a little bundle left over. And of course we're gonna have quite a bit left over after this one. We'll use it for another project, you know, another chicken coop or something. So we'll keep showing you the progress. Alrighty, well, we got it put together. I'm not happy with these wheels. They don't roll that well. And yeah, they seem to stick. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a 2x4 going underneath and kind of do like little outrigger type supports. And I have one of my carts on a job site got destroyed. Some kids climbed up on the roof because we had it on a flat roof up there. And they thought it was funny to push it off the roof and, you know, destroy other contractors' stuff. This was, you know, when I was out in California. So those wheels are garbage. I'm gonna put those ones on. We'll see what happens here. It should roll a lot better. And go from there. All right, another live and learn type of moment. I guess I should have just sprayed all 4 cans just at one level and not doubled or tripled it up. Be a lot to cut off there. I mean, yeah, quite a bit. Oh well. Live and learn. All right, we went ahead and took off the center supports because they really don't need it. I mean, we're only putting like onions and stuff on here. This thing will hold up. I might need to get better wheels down the road. These ones in the back, I have a feeling they might fold over on me, or even the front. So I had to do like a little bit of an outrigger just to get the wheels to where they're just a little bit farther out than the rack, because this felt like, you know, it's gonna topple over. I kind of have the same issue with my Harvest Right. I got on one of these 24, I think it's 24-inch wide tables, and the wheels come in and they're like 18 inches apart. I'd rather have a 36-inch wide table. That way the wheels come out farther than the Harvest Right. I'll be ordering one of those. I just don't feel safe with a $3,500 unit sitting on a $110, $120, you know, table that could easily fall over. Anyway, so we got that together, and I'm still actually waiting for that to cure because it's still pretty soft. I need to go out and just buy 2 more cans and just fill in that one spot and let it go for a few days. Bringing the handy dandy little Harbor Freight pressure washer over to the house now, because we got to go take apart the framework of the water heater closet I started many months ago. Like I said, I get things started when I can and just keep going, but I've been just thinking about certain things on it, you know, trying to figure out how I want it. Since I don't have a blueprint and I haven't drawn anything out, I have to get it in my head exactly how I want things before I tackle it. Because usually something else will bring its head up and I'll go, oh, I'm glad I didn't do it this way because now I got to do this. So, you know, just take your time. I got my wife out here. She got her new headsets on, her little headphones. She can listen to her radio through her phone. She's just getting busy, getting everything all nice and pretty. Her last cut. And we have the fire going too at the same time. And trying to get rid of all the garbage. We just finally emptied out yesterday's trailer load. And we're gonna go back over there, get some more firewood, get all that area cleaned up, hit it with the weed eater with a little saw blade on it. I did a video in the past, but I'll show you here though, real quick. So what you do is you go ahead and pull off your regular string bottom. And I use on, where'd it go? I use, oh, that's the chainsaw. Oh, right in front of me. I use these ones here. My shaft, or the where'd it go? Let me see, 10 millimeter. Yeah, the arbor size right there is 10 millimeter. And this thing worked perfectly. And of course, it's the Bauer. I only sold at Harbor Freight. And it was the only 10 millimeter I could find. We actually used this weed eater and went through tons and tons of blades. That's why I bought so many. It's because we were cutting up to almost 3-inch stock trees. There was well, not really trees, it was more of a, I don't know what they were. They had these little red berries that came off, but they had thorns that would grow out to about 5-6 inches if you let them get out of control. And our whole back lot around the pond and everything was just covered to where you couldn't see nothing. Everything, there was up to this pile right here where you see the dead Johnson grass. Well, everything was covered all the way around this way to the tree and all the way back and all the way over to the other side of the pond way over there. You cannot see any of that stuff. It was just full. And then we had multiple trees throughout the pond area that were just, little siblings or whatever, sucklings, not sucklings, but siblings, little tiny stalks all over the place. So to get out there and try to mow the grass was impossible. So we actually had to use a weed eater in that area. And I said, you know what? Let's just eliminate a lot of this stuff that makes it very difficult to get in there. Because when the pond's dry, we can actually ride the mower in there and cut all the duckweed that's in there and all that other stuff and clean it up. But you couldn't do it with all the debris that was over there. I mean, this pond had all kinds of stuff in it, bricks, cinder blocks, just branches galore. And we, like I said before in other videos, we took 26 trailer loads full to the dump because there's just too much to burn out here, and I didn't want to burn it. And plus there was a lot of thorns and a lot of other garbage too. So we just got all that cleaned up and just made it so it was so much easier for us to maintain it. Just like where my wife's at now. She's heading over to the other side. You know, we own the property all the way up to the high grass over there. So where you see it cut from her doing it before, that's all our property there. What I did is I took a weed killer and killed everywhere where she couldn't go. So that way, when she would go out there, she basically mowed the areas. Then I came back and we hooked up our sprayer, 15-gallon sprayer, put it on the cart, and used the quad and sprayed all the areas that that she couldn't hit with the mower, and that we would have to hit with the weed eater. You can see I did it here too. You can see the original grass and then the grass coming back. So I'm not worried about it right now. I think before spring, when everything starts coming back, you know, let's see what happens after winter. So we get with snow and all that, but I have to get back out there. I did buy this bad boy right here. That one's full. And next year, after the winter is gone, we'll go back out and hit all the troubled areas that she can't mow. That way we don't have to. I mean, we're spending almost 2 days weed eating, trying to keep up with it to make it look nice, and because I like it maintained, especially around the pond. And you know, we still got a lot of work. I got 700, a little over 700 feet of barbed wire that we're going to put in the whole back area, because it's just been destroyed over the years from the trees growing on it or through them, snapping them. Some areas we've got to cut out the barbed wire that's inside the trees. Part of my property line is actually about almost 2 feet past that, so some of those trees that have the barbed wire in it, I might be able to cut down. I just need to know exactly where my lines are at. I have them at the 2 corners, you know, actually 4 corners, but we also have them, because this was 3.5 acres plus 1. So on the plans, it shows where the 1 acre spikes are at too. So I had somebody come out and, you know, put all my tags in, all my spikes, so I knew where everything was at. And then I went and put T-posts in that place so we can, you know, remember where they're at, because the wooden stakes over a period of time break, the flags come off and everything. So from the corner this way, going that way, the property seems like it veers out some. It almost goes like from 0 to almost 2.5 feet at the corner of my property. So I don't know, you know, see what's going on. And I'm a little over 300 and some odd feet this way, almost the size of a football field. So I mean, we'll get 4.5 acres. It's enough for us. We still would like to get, you know, paired up livestock of cattle, goats, and sheep. We'll see. I've got plenty of cattle around here. We'll get goats, sheep down the street. Plenty of the YouTubers that are the homesteading YouTubers around here, like Hidden Heights, Keeping It Dutch, and stuff like that. Well, Dutch doesn't have any goats, but Hidden Heights does, and I could probably talk to them, or the Walkers and stuff like that. Talk to Casey probably the most. Casey and Kevin, you know, at both places, because they're really into, you know, they have a lot more knowledge. I go down the street, there's a family down there that I can talk to, an older family that sells sheep, and they'll tell us what to do and what not to do. You know, they've been doing it for most of their lives, 50 years or so. Anyways, so got things going on. As always, we bounce around. We still need to put the trim on the top area here, only on the outside, right here. And we'll do that in a moment. But we had to get it straightened out and get it going. So we have that going on. I think I mentioned this, you know, we make it about a trim like this. Not as thick, but maybe we'll go that thick. Probably. So anyways, hit the wood, get all that cleaned up so my wife can mow that area better. Keep things burning. And finish off the rack system, and then at the end of the day we'll take apart the framework, just sticks, you know, the stick frame right now, just up, you know, there's no top, we've got a top and bottom plate, that's it. Nothing's attached to the walls, but it is anchored down. We'll get all that torn apart and spray it and get it ready, and then start on it tomorrow sometime. All right, we'll come back and show you guys, bring it over there. Alrighty, well, just got done taking care of the back, helping the wife get into the backyard because we have to open the fence for her. And during the process of going through all the wood, look at all those grubs. Chickens are going to be happy. This is my little pile of firewood. These are my little Yule logs right here. Anyways, got this area cleaned up. Added more fire to the fire pile, or firewood to the wood pile here. And got all that stuff cleaned up. Got all the shrub that was over here cleaned up. Our next thing, not today though, is I'm gonna go ahead and just get all the chicken shavings and manure and all that stuff and just kind of spread it throughout. These two piles here need to be spread. That used to be mushroom compost, but grass grew right through it, you know. And that pile, of course, I think I've said it before, we're going to use that dirt to fill in all our low spots and everything around here where it puddles up pretty good. So I got that done. The yard's looking good. Wife's out in the back area now. Everything's looking pretty nice around here, except for my shop. My shop's still not the way I want it, but it'll get there. And got our last load of the shrub that we're burning little by little, as you can see. And if we don't get it all burnt today, it's all right. We have plenty of kindling to get it started and a torch. That'll probably burn overnight anyways. Even if we put the lid on it, it'll probably just smolder. Oh, gotta go let her out. So I'll get that emptied out today, and I'm going to start, as that's burning over there, we're going to start cutting our trim for here and getting that installed, and wheel it over to the garage and put those loofah gourds on it, put the table and stuff away. So busy, you know, non-stop. Well, it's 4:30. Look, Matthew's ready to get out of here. He's on. He said, I've had enough. Well, went ahead and ripped down what we needed to, rerouted. I have a small little hand router that puts us 1/8 of an inch, actually almost like a 1/4 inch edge. And all that will go right here. Just like so. Nice and pretty like. So I'll cover up the staple edge and all that, and we'll go ahead and pre-drill it, and then countersink. I have one of those little countersink tips right there. I'll get all that stuff going tomorrow. And that's what's left of our stuff to burn tomorrow. So backyard's cleaned up, or side yard, well, back of the shop, so I guess you call it backyard. Got that little bit going on there. I'll come home, put the lid on that thing after we go out to eat, the wife and I, and call it a day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.